is Alessandro Gaffuri. I'm founder and CEO of Cells. Just very interesting, the previous presentation. And actually, I'm trying, in this case, with my presentation, to support and give let's say, hope to brick and mortar. And I come from the shopping center industry. I managed theme parks, cinemas, and I actually happened to join the shopping center industry by a strange coincidence, let's say, in 2005. And I actually started managing, 2004, started managing small malls, and in 2007, I became a GM of the biggest mall in Italy. But I figured out that I really didn't like shopping centers. And I tried, just by gut feelings, to transform the way people used the shopping mall that I was actually managing. Because I thought that a big shopping mall could give something more to be able to succeed in the long term. So I strongly believe that, we all blame e-commerce now, but I strongly believe that the need of change of the retail environment and the need of innovation came a lot before. And the e-commerce just speeded up this process. For example, I'll just show you 5 meta trends, which are trends that are all around us and we can't control. We have, urban culture is creating more and more sophisticated and demanding customers every day. Our lives are completely revolutionized by technology in all dimensions, social, economical, political, personal. Aging is a very big shift. A big demographic shift is actually aging. And the rise, at least in the Western world nowadays, of single-person households. So the whole, let's say, society is actually changing. Sustainability has emerged around the idea of an environmental and social open exchange of information. So we are actually now in the sharing economy. This is the slide about aging, and this is the slide about sustainability. And technology, of course. Technology, globalization, demographics are factors that are changing any organization structure. And okay, now we're here in India, in Mumbai, and everybody can see that the West and the East are competing on more equal terms than ever before. So, thanks to these meta trends, actually consumers changed. Consumer needs have changed. So we are now in the expectation economy, and we're driven by experience. Customers are driven by experiences. Any customer has a very high expectation in terms of quality of the products and the services that they buy. And life balance, workloads, time is value for everybody. It wasn't used to be, let's say. Of course, we all have a certain years to live, so time has always been a value, but nowadays workloads and the time, the life balance, what we look for ourselves, the value of time has increased. Transparency, all informations are available. We saw it before. Everybody's on the web. Any information is available for everybody. Connectivity, there is no difference between online and offline. It's irrelevant, let's say. And we all want to be inspired. We love to explore new products, new services in many different ways. And we are in the era of co-creation, collaborative consumption, and and share experiences. So, actually, as said before, retail has changed, and the rising of e-commerce, m-commerce, and couponing is actually pushed us. I mean, who's managing the traditional retail and the brick and mortar and big physical spaces to react? So how do we need to react in order to survive in the long term? Well, I borrowed this slide from Simon Sinek, and I really strongly believe that starting with why is the key. From a mall manager and developer perspective, and now as providing services and products to my clients, which are mainly from the shopping center industry and tourism authorities, I strongly believe that we need to create real places, real destinations, where art, culture, good food, music, entertainment can drive emotions. We need to build places, can be retail hubs, as we said, tourism destinations, and of course shopping malls, where social and relational interests are just as strong as the shopping-related interests. To try, let's say, to transform the shopping experience into a social experience. So how do you turn a shopping mall into a favorite meeting place? I have now 5 slides that talk about 5 models that we created. And then after these 5 slides and these 5 models, we'll give you some examples of tangible formats. A shopping mall or a retail environment should be a chameleon. You keep on moving. Your customers need to experience something different every day. You need to make sure to be ahead of, staying ahead of getting bored. Shopping malls should be, or retail environments, a community hub, an ideal place for being. You need to engage people, invite things to happen, be the heart of the community. Third model, like be on parade, be the circus in town, put on a show, have something different. Well, no, I would say every day. I mean, of course, we talked about marketing budgets before, but be the circus in town, be the place to be. Be carefully considered. Give away everything you know, and more will come back to you. As about this to reflect the sharing economy. Make lab, be a lab. Ideas worth spreading and ideas worth doing. Have people participate in the production, let's say, and the distribution process. So we said from concepts to practical examples. I didn't bring here presentations or pictures from the shopping center industry or the retail industry, but real and tangible examples of great events and great happenings all over the world that mark the difference between different, I would say, mark the difference, and that, I mean, that many of you know about, let's say. So formats, like the festival format. Be fun, inspire, surprise. The festival-like experiences are actually what people are looking for. Okay, here, of course, we have the Burning Man, Lowlands Festival. I mean, I have really great examples. I mean, in terms of pictures, of course, we can't create a Burning Man everywhere in the world, but the big festivals. I mean, this is just an example of very interesting, successful events and happenings. But you need to take that as an example and bring it inside the mall. Just a quick example. When I joined the shopping center industry, when I started managing a big mall in Italy, it was in 2006, I was saying, and actually I was saying before, I didn't like it. I didn't like traditional malls, so I actually used the marketing budget in a totally different way, and I actually planted the seed of what in 2011 became the strategy of the whole Dutch holding group. I was working for Corio at that time. Now Corio, there's no Corio anymore because Clepierre and Simon Property bought shares, but we were managing 97 shopping malls across Europe. And I started as a GM of a mall in 2006. I would say, now, of course, forget about me, but not leading by example, but I actually created something that I didn't know what I was creating. And the head of the CEO, let's say, took an example, and we built the whole strategy. And we figured out that to be able to survive in the 20 and 30 years ahead, we shouldn't build shopping malls or manage shopping malls only, but we needed to create favorite meeting places, as said before, where people get together, where they have experiences. And in 2006, when I was saying a tangible example, start managing that shopping mall, I created a festival, a summer festival, that is still running now after 13 years. And it's one of the biggest, just for example, it was a mall, a shopping mall in Italy, and we had George Benson, Al Jarreau, we had Simple Minds, and so we brought in that type of experience just in a green area outside the shopping mall, giving a different meaning, offering a different meaning for people to come. We got rid of all the labels of the big brands. It was the shopping mall was small, and then we had all the big brand. We had the Apple Store, the McDonald's, or Carrefour. We took all that away, and we worked on the identity as a unique place. The year after, in 2007, I bought a radio station, and I gave that radio station, the name of the shopping mall. And we were just, it was not a commercial, it was very high-end, only soul, funky, jazz, to deliver quality, to make people perceive quality even through music, and so on. We did a family entertainment center, a huge family entertainment center with the name of the shopping mall, costume character that could deal relationship with customers and children coming from the mall. So customize the experience and have everything every day. Every day something new. And following that path, sorry, I just talked on the festival. I just stuck on the festival slide. A green heart. Here is very important. Bring the greens in the shopping mall or the shopping environment. Here, for example, it's a very nice. This slide. It's maybe not the quality. It's not the picture is not very high, but that's the High Line in New York. But this is a breakfast on Harbor Bridge. It's a bridge in Sydney, and once a year, they just put grass, real grass, and they invite people to have breakfast on a bridge that 364 days in a year is just used as a road. Learning Lab. Create open workshops and sharing knowledge. So these are other examples, but it's very important to, we have a format called Social Kitchen, for example, we deliver in the Middle East. And we create a kitchen. We have chefs that put together people and teach, recipes. And when the food is cooked, behind that kitchen, people that participated eat together and get to know each other. So it's a sort of small social hub. Well, factory, here's the pizza guy, it's more or less, but see how things actually work. And be creative to learn, to discover. So even here, share. Vacant spaces, make space the destination, and create temporary, unique places. So get the chance to think something different out of the box and use vacant spaces to create temporary, interesting destination. In this case, the box part in London. There's a few examples of how to use vacant spaces and create liquid spaces. This is a picture, there's a few pictures of a mall that I managed in Naples. It's the second biggest mall in Italy, but nothing compared to the big malls that you have in UAE or in USA. It's 300 shops, no more than that. But this is the hub, the happening hub, and it changed during the day. Lights changed, the composition of the tables, morning, lunch, afternoon, and evening, and we changed the way we use that space. So we had breakfast getting together in the morning, and we have huge quiz shows on the big screen and happenings and music in the evening. So constantly change the form, the light, and the sound. Market. Even here, strongly believe that the traditional market stalls are still very relevant and interesting. I was in Yas Mall, Abu Dhabi 2 days ago. They have traditional market stalls, even though they have even the any new brand available in the market. Or I went to La Mer in Dubai. And okay, it's a strange, destination, 70% focus on F&B, but they have, I didn't bring the pictures here, I have pictures on my phone, a very nice traditional market, but they went the extra mile or the extra step, and actually they had, instead of using traditional stalls, they had traditional offers, but they used the buggies, the Volkswagen, the Beetle, cut in half. They use the old Beetles to create and to offer a different way to use as market stalls. Gamification. Discover, play, experience. Here I put on purpose Foursquare. Foursquare doesn't exist anymore. Facebook bought Foursquare. Foursquare was like Gowalla. I don't know if who was on internet in 2006, 2007, 2008. They were geolocated applications, and you were getting rewarded by checking in places. So if I checked in Starbucks 10 times, I got a badge as the Starbucks expert, for example. So get this type of experiences, and for example, treasure hunt. So use digital devices to have people play within your physical spaces. Here, we said it also on the previous slide, co-creation. Get customers to participate in the production of their customized product. Open museum, help make the arts more accessible for everybody. So bring art inside retail spaces. Of course, who's passionate about art can go to museums. But I worked a lot with museums across Italy, and we brought in art inside retail spaces to leverage the potential of art. So bring art where people are. At this moment, in Italy or in the UAE, a lot of customers are still in brick and mortar. So use brick and mortar to bring positive values as well. Another format, I think, is the last one, is reuse. So restoration, refurbishment, renovation, and reuse elements. But as we said before, I strongly believe that brick and mortar is not dead. But how do you engage your customers? Because it's right, customers, all of us, we're on devices. So create favorite meeting place is one solution, and how to engage and to go and catch customers. Go and meet them in their preferred environments. We have customers, as we know, they're all on social medias, let's say. They're all on their devices. They get information from the web, they get information from WhatsApp, they get information from any sorry, it's the next slide, any type of, so from Facebook, from websites, from get connected from Telegram, Twitter, and all those devices, all those communication channels, let's say. We use a technology called artificial intelligence, so we use chatbots to get in touch with customers before, during, and after the visit to a physical space. This is very important to leverage their experiences, one, and to deliver a promotion or a message on the other side. And in specific, the figures are here. In UAE, we have 80 in GCC countries, but back in Europe as well. WhatsApp has from 85 to 93% of penetration. So everybody has Messenger app on their phone, or they have a WhatsApp app on their phone. And nowadays, almost, I would say nobody, but there was a time where everybody wanted to download applications on their phone, and now, let's say, it became nobody's downloading application unless it's very, very relevant. So we have a platform called Chat2AI that you can use it to leverage and to get in touch with customers. And you go and meet them where they are. So you give them the choice to open a relationship with you, because it's all about, we saw in the previous slide, it's all about relationship. To open a relationship with you, on their preferred meeting place. So you go inside a shop, you get a QR code, a message, a promotion, or a telephone number that asks you to go on a landing page. You get on a landing page, and then you choose the way you want to get in touch with a customer. And from that moment on, you use that platform for anything, to communicate, to share information, to do surveys, to send promotions, and to run loyalty program. We just launched last week the first loyalty program in the world for a shopping mall that it's running 100% on WhatsApp. We launched it in Kuwait and 360 Mall. And so also these things change completely. So we're trying to leverage as much as possible the communication, to use the actual devices, avoiding people to download an extra application, to avoid people to force them to go on a specific website, but just offer them the opportunity to engage and relate to a brand even more stronger, but using existing platforms. Thank you.
Thanks, Alessandro. I think it was a great presentation. I think you have reinforced the belief that brick and mortar is definitely to stay. From a point of view that it's all about the experience at the end of the day. It's like, when my kid is playing a game on his phone of cricket, where he has Sachin Tendulkar, who's what we call the god of cricket, and the moment I say, hey, buddy, do you want to go downstairs and actually chuck a ball to me? And I see the excitement that comes on his face where he lights up by saying, yeah, I want to go to the ground and play. It's like trying to work out on a phone versus going to the gym. But nowadays in the gym, you have a tracker that tracks and gives you digital information. So I believe that, it's symbiotic, is what I believe, that the experience of digital has to get weaved into physical, and, it gives you more power to discovery. I remember we were doing an assignment for a mall in Bombay where the developers, the owners told me, they said, Kapil, we are facing a challenge that the average time spent at a mall is only 90 minutes by people who come to the mall, and what we believe, they drive down to this mall. So they're coming out of their residential area because this mall is in a non-residential area. So it doesn't mean that, they're just coming out of their homes and walking out. So they're traveling, they're parking their cars, but they're spending only 90 minutes here. So interestingly, we wanted to deep dive into the minds of customers, and we did a focus group where we invited some of the regular customers into a coffee shop and have a conversation with them. And what we realized that the average age group of these customers was 35, 30, 40. So there were couples, husbands and wives, friends, and all of these people. So when we asked the question that, is this correct that you spend only 60 to 90 minutes in a mall and you drive down maybe half an hour, 45 minutes here, why don't you spend more time? So the husband started smiling and they said, Kapil, after carrying 2 bags in one hand and 2 bags in the other hand, that's time's up. You want to get out of the mall because that's an indication that you spend a lot of money, first of all, and your hands get tired. Now, interestingly, what we did for the mall was to create a sort of a digital thing where the moment you buy something, you actually don't need to carry the bag. You just get a tag on your mobile. You leave the bag with the concierge. You keep on getting tags on your phone. So now the husband is having his beer, playing with his phone, doing Wi-Fi, doing all of that. The lady is doing her shopping, and maybe 20 minutes before you leave, you go back to the concierge, give all your coupons, your digital coupons that, okay, there are 12 things that we bought. They all come centralized together. They bring it to your car. So it's the digital world in a physical world.
No, absolutely. Well, absolutely. But see, you facilitated, you leveraged that experience, but at the end, the reason why that customers came to that specific mall, why at a traffic light you turn left or right, which mall you choose. Unless you're going for one specific shop that you love, you turn left or right based on the, let's say, the brand identity, the value, what that mall, that brand represent to you, and the previous experiences. So it's all about experiences, services, maybe even more than the retail offer sometimes.
Yeah, so I think it's the Disney experience that you keep on have to recreating. Fantastic session. I think we can take one question from the audience. We have a gentleman here.
Alessandro, fantastic presentation. Just a question. When we are looking at the configuration of a mall, what percentage would be retail, what percentage would be entertainment, what percentage would be F&B in terms of hierarchy when you're planning the space, number one? And what would you say the impact of each of these verticals would be to the mall?
Impact in terms of?
Both financially as well as engagement.
Well, it depends, of course, on the location of the mall. As an example, I actually took some mall managers and COO of representing Savills, Cushman Wakefield, CBRE, and Multi, a few big developers or representing, say, consultancy company from Italy on a tour in UAE, Dubai and Abu Dhabi yesterday and the day before. And we visited different formats. As for example, we said La Mer is a Miras destination, and on the beach in Dubai, they have 75% F&B and 25% retail, plus they're building, they have a water park. And we have more traditional, more like Data City Center, which is in the heart of the community that is focused on the traditional hypermarket assets, so a big Carrefour and some traditional shops. when you go and see new hubs, new type of malls, for sure, compared to the past, there was maybe 10, 15%, the increase of F&B. I mean, the F&B increased, the percentage of F&B spaces increased a lot. And some malls actually have not one, but two FECs, and big areas where they have rides or virtual reality theme parks within the shopping mall. But this depends always on the size of the mall, on the available space, and where the mall is located. Not just within the city, but even which city, and of course, which type of customers you have. But very important, I strongly believe when you plan a mall, regardless if it's 100,000 GLA or 300,000 GLA, is to build it to be with, let's say, a retail soul and an F&B entertainment soul. Starting from the beginning, not just from a scheme and design point of view, but prepare retailers, prepare the management to manage it as a favorite meeting place. In terms of budgets, green rooms, permanent and temporary stages, fountains, water features, places for services. It's very difficult when you design a shopping mall in a traditional, and I would say wrong way, to adapt it and make it survive without demolishing it and rebuilding it in the future. So having the favorite meeting place in mind, so the gamification, the services, the experience, then if you have that in mind, if it's a big mall with a big GLA, you can rent out the space to a big family entertainment center and many big department stores. But the recipe is the same. If you're small or big, the favorite meeting place idea should always be top of mind.
Thank you, Alessandro, and we wish you all the very best. Hope to see you in India, maybe through a joint venture or some association through the sales group.